morning on DC News Now. Bringing in 2025 and all the celebrations. A windy and colder start to the new year. Expect gusty winds and a gradual clearing of the skies with highs back in the 40s. A major drop in violent crime in the district, where police data is showing significant decrease. And new laws on the books across the DMV. The details on which ones take effect today. Plus, hopes and dreams for the new year.
Be more organized.
Spend more time together.
Have my dog more.
Neighbors share their plans to set and keep goals for 2025.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Well, good morning. This is a live look over DC this morning. You can see the Washington Monument off in the distance. Nice start to 2025. Happy New Year, everyone, and thanks for starting your morning with us here on DC News Now. I'm Tanaya Wright.
Happy New Year. Welcome to 2025. I'm Tosin Fakila in for Corey James. Jackie is tracking your first forecast of the new year. And it's not a bad start, actually, especially judging from that live view which you saw.
I know, it looks really nice out there, but we are going to be tracking that wind picking up through the day today. So we're looking at a windy first day of the new year. Out there right now, we're starting off with temperatures in those 40s, which is a little bit warmer than yesterday morning. Currently 49 degrees in DC. We're starting off lower 40s though in Hagerstown and much of the I-81 corridor. But like I mentioned, those winds are picking up. Right now it's becoming breezy, sustained winds between 10 to 15 miles per hour for most of the area. We do have a few of those wind gusts right around 30 miles per hour, but Leesburg now picking up nearly 40 mile per hour gusts. We do have a wind advisory, and that is until 7 p.m. this evening. We could see those gusts upwards of 40 miles per hour later on this morning into the early afternoon. So again, today the big threat is that wind. Satellite radar showing us that system that brought us some of that stronger thunderstorm activity late yesterday is now well out of here. We're drying things out there aside from some mountain snow showers today, and then we'll see those highs into those mid to upper 40s later on this afternoon for the first day of 2025. I'll have more details coming up.
All right, Jackie, we'll talk to you soon. Coming up on 7:02, we begin with breaking news this morning out of New Orleans, Louisiana. 10 people are dead, 30 others injured after a vehicle drove into a crowd. It happened early this morning near Bourbon Street. New Orleans police say those streets have been shut down. We'll have more updates and details throughout the morning as we learn more.
And breaking news out of Prince George's County this morning. Police investigating a deadly shooting in Hyattsville. Now, this happened last night on Landover Road. Police say that they found a man and woman shot inside of a car. The man died at the scene. That woman taken to an area hospital. Police are now searching for suspects. Anyone with any information is asked to give them a call. And we have new details out of Prince George's County this morning. A suspect has been indicted in the murder of well-known anti-gun violence advocate Cornelius McDonald. Now, McDonald was shot and killed outside of a restaurant in Largo back in November. State's attorney Aisha Braveboy says Terrell Bailey now facing murder charges in connection to that shooting. Investigators say the two, who did not know each other, got into a fight, and eventually Bailey shot McDonald. Now, Bailey has been held without bond since his arrest in early December.
New details in a fatal stabbing in DuPont Circle. DC police have identified the person stabbed as Dominic Rff. Officers say Rff was stabbed at about 4 o'clock on Monday. He died at the hospital. There's a $25,000 reward for information that leads to a conviction. And new this morning, D.C. ended the year with a significant drop in violent crime. Police data showing violent crime fell 35% from 2023 to 2024.
That is right. The data shows robberies decreased by almost 40% and homicides were down 31%. Data also shows property crime overall down 11%. Arsons decreased almost 65%, and motor vehicle thefts decreased nearly 25%. Now, last month, D.C. officials attributed the drop to the new anti-crime initiatives created last year. That includes the council's new Secure DC legislation, which increases penalties for a number of crimes. Officials also citing the creation of the Real-Time Crime Center and the return of the drug-free zones.
A new video from DC Fire and EMS shows them rescuing 2 women from a condo fire in Northwest DC. On your screen, you can see thick black smoke from a window where first responders say 1 woman was trapped. Crews rescued 2 injured women in that fire on Chapin Street yesterday morning. The fire displaced everyone living in that building. The American Red Cross says it's helping 9 families, but expects to help more over the next few days. Now that fire leaving neighbors feeling relief and disappointment.
There's very little damage. There were some doors that were kicked in. I think the firefighters were just checking to make sure everybody was okay.
So sad for the people at work because it's just destroyed.
And firefighters say people will not be able to get into their units until tomorrow. 7:04 as we usher in a new year, a slate of new laws across the DMV go into effect today.
Yes, they do. From changes to your health care to minimum wage increases. Our Haley Milon joins us now live from DC to share the changes that you can see and where. Haley, good morning.
Hey, Tosin, Tanaya, good morning and happy new year to you. New year, new laws, regardless of where you are in the DMV. You're going to see some changes here in the district. Right turns on red were supposed to be banned, but the council didn't set enough money aside for the signage. Also in the district, insurers will be eligible for home visiting services under certain policies. Now in Maryland, your health insurance provider will now be required to cover adult hearing aids, covering up to $1,400 per aid every 3 years. This applies to policies renewed or began today or anytime in the future. Also starting today, businesses in Maryland will be required to register any security personnel as security guards. And across the river in Virginia, minimum wage will go from $12 an hour to $12.41 an hour. Part of that new law also requires minimum wage to be adjusted each year for inflation. That is thanks to a bill passed by the General Assembly in 2020. Now we'll have a full breakdown of these laws and the changes, how they'll impact you on our website, dcnewsnow.com. I'm also going to have a little bit more on some of those Maryland laws coming up in our next 30 minutes of news. For now, live in the district, I'm Haley Milon, DC News Now.
All right, Haley, thank you for those updates. Your time is 7:06 on this Wednesday. Circulator bus service is completely done. Now many passengers are upset and say it is a major loss for the district. Yesterday was the final day for the bus service. Passengers remembering their Circulator bus experiences over the years. One passenger says she's a nanny and the bus service helped make sure the children in her care got where they needed to go safely. Now she's unsure how they'll get around.
Go to the museums, and we come from the museum. So now we will have to catch the train, or we have to just walk down there from Capitol Hill. They made it more very convenient, like for us with the strollers. They would have other, passengers to go to the back. We can enter on the back as well. They was very helpful.
Metro made adjustments to bus routes to accommodate Circulator riders. Those adjustments will remain in place until July. Well, here's a reminder as you enjoy those New Year's celebrations. The holiday will affect several services in the district today.
That is right. Here's a breakdown of what's open and what is closed. Many shelters in the district are open, including New York Avenue's Men's Shelter and the Harriet Tubman Women's Shelter. Several centers also open for mental health services and children experiencing homelessness in the district, like DC's Stabilization Center and Zoe's Door Youth Drop-In Center.
And as for what's closed today, that includes all DC public schools, public libraries, the Department of Parks and Rec, Department of Motor Vehicles, and remember, all parking enforcement is suspended today except for streetcar ticketing and towing. The Department of Transportation is also suspended all non-emergency work and construction in work zones.
And the district is increasing security near the Capitol ahead of big events happening this month. Those include January 6th, when Congress certifies the election, and the presidential inauguration, which is set for the 20th. So take a look at this fencing around the Capitol building. This all went up yesterday. The 8-foot metal perimeter has reappeared multiple times since rioters stormed the Capitol back in 2021.
And ringing in the new year at Times Square. This sight never gets old. A huge crowd of people toughing it out in heavy rain last night to celebrate the start of 2025. It's estimated 1 million people packed into Times Square, and they did not let the weather get them down, even though there were no umbrellas allowed into the festivities. Those are some brave people.
Sounds miserable. I would not do it. I know people wear diapers out there because there's no bathrooms.
Bathrooms, yeah. I can't do it. But shout out to those people who do. Major shout out to them.
I'm sure you enjoyed it.
New Year's celebrations have been happening around the world for several hours now. The first place to ring in 2025, a little sliver of land known as Christmas Island in the Pacific Ocean.
That is right, but the first major country, New Zealand, which is 18 hours ahead of us.
3, 2, 1, Happy New Year!
Well, that right there is gorgeous. This is Australia, which is 16 hours ahead. Take a look at the festivities at the iconic Harbour Bridge right near the Sydney Opera House. About 1 million people head there to ring in the new year.
All right, let's head to Asia. We're going to Hong Kong now, where fireworks lit up the sky over Victoria Harbour. Look at that. This year's theme, the Symphony of Happiness.
And Taiwan had a spectacular fireworks show to ring in the new year. This was right near Taipei's 101 Tower. At one point, this skyscraper was the world's tallest building. The theme of the show centered around their baseball championship in Tokyo. That was last month. And a new year and a new outlook. What are you looking forward to?
A lot.
A lot, yes, lots of things.
And for many people, 2025 means new hopes, anticipations, and resolutions. DC News Now's Daniel Hamburg has more on people's goals for this year.
Amid the hustle and bustle of DC, we're taking a look back on the year that was.
We had a lot of Commanders wins, a lot of Caps wins. It's a great year.
Amazing. 2024 was awesome.
It was great. I enjoyed it a lot. I did a lot of fun things. Like I went to a lot of Caps games. I just left the Caps game. I went to football games. I got into college, moved into college.
I didn't have any financial worries. I could pay my bills on time, pay my rent on time. And family, everybody's good.
Whether you had a great year or one that wasn't so great, 2025 is a clean slate.
My New Year's resolution is to be more organized.
We're trying to find ways to spend more time together. It's hard.
My New Year's resolution is to watch more sports, give more love to my family, and then, I don't know, pet my dog more.
January is usually the time a lot of people pack gyms instead of their stomachs. A common resolution?
Shape up, lose some weight. I gained 20 pounds this year. I want to try to get it back off.
Your New Year's resolution is to
eat less.
Why is that?
Oh, I just like how I look. Thinner.
Not eat so much junk food.
For some, it's not about setting a specific resolution.
I think the most important thing is to set yourself up for future success, and that means that you are at one with your body and your entity, and less about trying to project into the future.
Now let's hope they can keep those resolutions. Your time
for more than a week.